How are you? Can you hear me? Want to make sure you can all hear me first. Good. Francie, I read your comment and I laughed very, very, very loudly. And then had to explain why I laughed so loudly. So we're not using glitter. We're going to maybe use some glitter glaze, actually. So I am going to change that around, but I just want to make sure everyone's around and can hear and all that good stuff. Okay, I see that it says I'm going live on Facebook, so it's catching up. Happy Valentine's Day, everybody. Hello, hello. Hi, Kelly. Can you hear me good? Okay, guys, give me a thumbs up or something. Hi, Penny. Restream's working. Hi, Ellen. Hope everyone's had a fabulous day. Good Valentine's Day. Or if it isn't a good Valentine's Day, maybe it will be good here with me. Hello, Michelle. Great card from your son. Hi, Donna. Just kind of waiting for a couple more minutes here and then we'll get moving. I'm going to go ahead and switch my camera around to the others. Hello, Tia. So, like I said, I haven't heard. Okay, sound is great. That's all I needed. Hi, Melissa. How are you guys? How are you? All right, I have a card that I shared. You guys get a little sneaky peek. I haven't shared this yet on social media, but I made this card last night with the with some of the items from the box. And hi, Misty. Welcome back. I am getting late on getting my unboxing video up, but I created this card last night using a bunch of products and I really wanted to share it with you guys. So this, I had such a great idea for this and it worked out perfect. So I am good, Melissa. I am going to maybe make a video on how I did this over the weekend. But I used a bunch of Shimmer Splash and the spaced out stamp set and embossing powders and had such fun with this card and some Aqua Pigments. And I wanted you to see because the glitter, I used fairy dust embossing powder. So I really wanted to use it, make it look like outer space. So it's my first card that I've been able to finish. I've got a couple other ones started. So Francie, for you, the glitter tonight is the glitter glaze. I have some done, but this isn't exactly what I wanted to start with yet. So this is the Celestial Skies. So if you haven't seen it yet on Raven, and this is with the weathered paint. But I want to get started with our little aliens here. I've already stamped them out on aqua pigment paper. And oh yes, the nebula. I have mine right here. We may use it tonight. So that might be some glitter to put with. Melissa, it's really pretty. I have it swatched out. Have you guys seen it yet swatched out? Let's see. Happiness is, you guys, this isn't the right one. I was so excited this last night. I finished it. Let's see. Where did I put where did I put it? And Wisteria is back in stock, you guys, if you haven't. It is here somewhere. Here it is. Here's the nebula. Hi, Susan. Happy Valentine's Day. I have a video request. I need to know how to use the embossing foil reactive powder. Okay, I will work on that and I will play around with it, Michelle, this weekend, and we will use it next week with our live. How does that sound? Okay. I did get the fuse on order, so maybe it'll be here in time so we can use that too. But we can use that. I want to play around with it a little more. It's been a while since I've used it, Michelle, but we'll use it next week. Somehow we'll use it, or at least we'll do something with it. So I love the wisteria too. So these little alien guys are from the Spaced Out stamp set. And I've already stamped them on the aqua pigment paper and I've heat embossed them with icicle. And we are going to watercolor these guys. We are going to make a rainbow of aliens. I thought that would be really fun. I will have to do a little die cutting out. So hi, Sarah. You need to order some of the reactive. Is that what the reactive embossing powder? Is that what you were saying, Susan? You said RHE. I wasn't sure if that's exactly what you were looking for. I have some. It's been a while, like I said, since I've used it. So I want to play with it a little bit. Just so I have some samples done too. So I've got pink. And I have my pigment palette here somewhere, but mine's a little older, so I don't know if I have the new one with all the little pieces. I have the original. So I'm going to go ahead and just use my glass mat. We're just going to squeeze out some red, orange, yellow, and then we'll get started from there. And then we're going to use green and then Galileo and Orion tonight. So let me get my water here. These is just, I thought this would be a fun, fast watercoloring. I'm going to go ahead and wet everything down. This is going to be a fast watercolor. We're not going to do much for shading. I need a towel. We're going to go ahead and just grab it and we're just going to paint. And I'm just going to dab it all over and let it do its thing. And I don't care that it goes around the outsides because I think that's going to make it kind of fun when we die cut it out, because we're going to have that line. So we're just doing some fast die cutting or fast watercoloring. The design team has been doing some amazing projects so far with them, and I will have some more posted on the Brutus Monroe Instagram page tomorrow and through the rest of the week. I've been kind of making sure that they're sharing too, so I'm not stealing kind of their thunder. So I do too. Yeah, they do look like they're glowing, and I think it'll be fun once we get them really wet. Oops, this one I forgot to get the water on there first. So let's do that. I am a big fan of, if you've seen projects from me before, I'm a big fan of taking an image and making a rainbow version of them. I did that with the zebras last year in the safari set. I used chroma mists. So, and I could have used just 3 colors, but I thought it would be fun I wanted to use the new Galileo and Orion. So I wanted to make sure. And I have all sorts of different looking bottles just of Aqua. These are all Aqua Pigments. I just wanted to different bottles these have come from different events. I believe these might have come from the Create Your Own Ending event. These might have come from another event. And then I have the originals. Hi, Jerry. I just, I have a bunch of them and I'm trying to be more proactive and make sure I'm using them up. So what I like to do when I have them is I like to shake them, and then I like to make sure I squeeze them out and make sure everything is out so that it all gets mixed up, especially if I'm using, this is kind of a green. I think, let's see, do we have a little scratch piece here? I want to make sure I had swatches of these put out somewhere. I'll just grab this little piece. Hi, Mikkel. Is that how I say it? How do I say it, Mikkel? My dad is part Swedish. Okay, so we've got kind of and this is not the right color paper for this, so we might use that instead of this green. And then this is more of a tealy color. Okay, Mikkel. Awesome. My grandma is first generation Swedish. So she was born here in the States, but her parents were born in Sweden. So, and then I do have the Cosmo. So that's the Orion. This is the Galileo. This is the Orion. And then this is the Cosmo. So we're going to use the Galileo as our green. Yep. I use 3 colors, Melissa, a lot. Sometimes when I'm ink blending, I just grab my red, my green, or my red, my yellow, and my blue, and I make up the colors. Because you can add more of one to make it darker. I add them all. Like if I wanted brown, I would just mix all these together and make brown. So, I don't know for sure where my grandma is. Because my grandpa is Dutch. So I always laugh because my mom is Mexican and Native American and a few other. That's the majority. And then my dad is half Dutch and half Swede. So I have this really tall, blonde, red, orange, pink, red. Oh, we forgot orange. I didn't grab orange. That's why we're off. And then my mom's this short little, sorry, Mom, but you are shorter and she knows it. Shorter little, Mexican looking Indian. So it's just kind of funny that, I have that mix in there. So, all right. So there is those 3. We need to grab orange. 1 second, please. I could have made orange, but I have some, so I'm going to use it. You're originally from Lancaster. That's awesome. All right, so we got our orange. And then we're going to set these aside to dry to work on our backgrounds. I think we're going to use the Explore Life's sentiment. That's what I was thinking. I might go in and add just a little bit of extra color, you know, add some little darker colors in a couple spots here and there just to give it some fun, but I don't want to do too much watercoloring tonight. Just a little shading here and there. Some of these are still pretty wet, so we're just going to let them go. All right, so we got our colored aliens. Thank you. Thank you. I love them. The aqua pigments are some of my favorites. So we're just going to put that off to the side to dry. I just have a laminated grid paper that I put this on, like I put everything on and let that sit off to the side to dry. That should dry fairly quickly. And then we're going to work on our background. Now I kind of had an idea. I have a piece of that was all stamped out on the Slimline Aqua Pigment watercolor paper. Now I'm going to use one of the Slimline card panels. Brostrom? Is it Brostrom? Is that how I say that? I'm not 100% sure. Or Brostrom? Brostrom. I feel like it should be Brostrom. I would Olsen. They must have a prism splitting space, right? They could. I have this piece and I have a piece of our masking paper. And we are just going to cut a little ground for it. I'm going to go really kind of, actually, I'm going to use my really big scissors. I decided I didn't want to dry it. I'm just going to go just kind of willy-nilly. Okay, bro. I was going to say, bro. The reason I say brostrom is I was trying to figure out because I speak Spanish, or I took Spanish. And so, different things. So thank you. This is our ground. So, but I think I was trying to decide what I wanted to do for this. And I think we're going to go ahead and we're going to put this one down first. So what I like about the Brutus Monroe paper is, masking paper, is that you can just peel it very easily. Oops. And then I'm going to, Emuo. Emuo? Is that how I say that? Hi, Lisa. The aqua pigments yes, there are sets, and you can also buy them individually. I believe there's collection 1. When I bought them as in collections. We had some other ones at the time too, but I know there's definitely a collection 1. I don't know if Penny can swing over and grab a link for them or not, or you can buy them individually. Now, these Cosmo, Galileo, and Orion are limited edition. They're for the space release. You can buy them separately or as a pack. But some of them have to be bought individually, I believe. Some colors. And I'm not exactly sure all of them. If you go up under products, I can't remember exactly the line over, and then if you look under coloring, there's an aqua pigment line. And I did put a few links on the Brutus Monroe page, YouTube channel for them. So I think to just the aqua pigments, but if I didn't, I will tomorrow. I have the Splatter Slimline stencil. I'm going to just use a little bit of pixie spray with this, because I'm thinking about doing some embossing powder. So I just sprayed that off camera. And then I just kind of let it dry a minute. I'm going to line that up in the bottom. I think this makes kind of a fun background. And I think that is what we're going to do. I'm going to try very hard not to mess up all my aqua pigments here. Yeah, there's a neon collection, and I think is there a collection 1? Okay. Like Yumio. Yumio. Okay. I'll try that. Yumio. We're going to use the embossing powder tonight, of the month, and then we're going to use some Thank you. I think we're gonna have some. I think we're gonna try to have some fun. I'm not sure exactly how our background here is gonna turn out. I'm not gonna worry about it all using the anti-static powder tool. Now I did use a lot of pixie spray, so we may have some sticky here and there, but I think it's gonna help because the Galaxy has lots of colors. So when I do embossing, sometimes I will go like this and I will just stick the embossing ink down on top. But I always like to, I use some sort of dauber. I don't have the pouncers for inks. I just like the good old fashioned Ranger tool because I can really push in. I think if I was using I do have a few daubers that a friend of mine gave, but and I've used them. I just have a couple of colors, but I think I would break them if I was using them with the embossing ink because I tend to push pretty hard. Mostly because and I'm turning this, if I'm on off camera a little bit, I apologize, so that I can see if I'm getting ink everywhere. I think this makes for a fun, the splatter kind of Galaxy looking background. You really can't go wrong making a Galaxy background other than you want dark colors. We could have done this right on Raven ink, a Raven detail, or the Raven cardstock, but I thought we would just go ahead and do it this way and play with it and make our own little, alien looking skyline, kind of say. All right. So I'm not sure what the ground is going to look like yet because I kind of changed my mind the last minute. Now we're going to peel this off and we might, like I said, have some sticky from this because I use that pixie spray. All right. I got to grab a piece of scratch paper here. I'm trying very hard not to touch those aqua pigments because we might use some of those yet on here. And then this is the Nebula. Oh, the fall collection was beautiful. Thank you, Penny. So you can see where it added a bunch of that glitter where I had the pixie spray. I'm okay with that because it's going to help add to our background. Yes, I'm leaving my masking paper in place because I don't want my ground to have anything on it. I'm going to go ahead and grab this. Look at how beautiful this is. So I told you we're going to do glitter, Francie. Look at the glitter, glitter, glitter. But we're doing the Francie glitter. I don't do a lot of loose glitter. Not much. I have some. Like I have some of the Lawn Fawn glitter and probably some others. I don't use it because I don't like to necessarily have it everywhere. You're welcome, Lisa. All right, let's grab my heat emboss gun. Excuse me a second. If you missed the live earlier today, you need to go back and watch the dynamic duo live from Valentine's today. It was really funny. Yes, Francie, I know it is. I wasn't going to add regular glitter tonight. All right, so I'm just heating it up a little bit on the edge. Yes, I'm holding it, but just because I know this will make Francie feel better, I found my paper clip, and we're just going to start heating it up over here. They were hilarious. And look at how that turns. I'll try to kind of turn it in the light so you guys can see it kind of as it turns a little bit here and there. I thought it was funny when we all started yelling, "Take it off the mat," when we were heat embossing. We were all thinking the same things. They were great projects. You're welcome. All right. Heat embossing never gets old. All right, just checking it in the light. Look at that pretty. It's got some black, it's got some blue or purple. It looks a lot like the sky. Look at that. I'll just kind of so you can see that. Yeah, Heather with the fire extinguisher was hilarious. I mean, like, it was like, that was so funny. I think I would have just started laughing out loud if I'd seen her run in the room with the, if I was sitting right there. I have to laugh, you guys, because the card I made last night, I was using all the aqua splashes, the shimmer splashes, and I pink shimmer splash all over that. Yes, this is the Nebula. And the reason it's on the inside pieces here is if you missed it was because I did use pixie spray and I did not use my anti-static powder tool, but I'm okay with that because we're making a sky. And what we're going to do is I've got some shady, I've got a bunch of different colors here and some wolf. And we're going to go ahead and ink blend some of that on. And then we're going to splatter and then and create colors. So we're just going to add a bunch of the dark colors. This is shady. I'm just going to go really willy-nilly. It is a beautiful color. I love embossing powders are one of my favorite things besides stencils. That's really what got me hooked originally with Brutus Monroe. I love stencils. And I started the stencil of the month, and then I love the embossing powders too. So we're just going in a bunch of spots with the shady. Put that away for a little bit. I'm going to grab the wolf. And wolf is a little bit lighter. These are Simon Hurley's inks. So these are just a little bit lighter. We're just, like I said, we're just creating this kind of outer spacey looking. And I think I'm going to quickly get Midnight Snack. I haven't even used my Midnight Snack. Yes, it is. I love Simon's inks too. They're the inks that I use more than anything else other than my Alabaster, Raven Detail, and embossing ink from Brutus Monroe. They pretty much live on my desks at all times, it seems like. So I could use a big blending brush, but I just had these handy. You could go direct to paper and wipe the ink right on there to get that really dark. But I'm just I don't want it super dark. Space Cadet vibes, yes. It's a fun release. I was gone over the weekend. I went up to Minnesota to surprise my mom and my sister, and well, my mom actually knew, but my sisters and my dad and my niece and nephew and my brother-in-law did not know I was coming. So I got my order on Friday. I did take it with me, but we were just busy, so I didn't play with it at all this weekend. I didn't have a chance to. So these are the Brutus Monroe blending brushes. Hi, Lisa. Good evening. I just use my laminator or my label maker to just put the color on them. I do have one since I use these so much, I do have one for each color. I hadn't seen them, Melissa, in since last March. And they are coming to visit me at the end of March. But I went home and my niece was in her very first musical. It was Finding Nemo Jr. So that's where I showed up was at the theater to surprise them and watch it. It was an adorable play. The costuming was so fun. And I'm a theater kid. I'm not a theater kid. I was in theater, but my sister is a theater major and my kids were theater kids. So I'm going to leave this the masking paper in place because we're going to splatter quick. So we're going to quick grab my splatter box, and this is where we're going to use the rest of some of our inks here. I'm going to try to do this as much as I can on camera. I'm going to grab my water color, or my water, because I do kind of want to water them down just a bit so they splatter a little better for me. And then I'm just going to I actually want a different brush. I'm going to grab a different type of brush. I'm going to start with the yellow. I always try to start with the lightest color. And I'm just going to grab another brush and we're just going to splatter all over, which gives it kind of those, colored galaxy looks that we see in the sky. This is somewhat similar to how I made that other card I showed earlier. I'm just going to rub it in some water and then go on to the next color. And we're just very quickly throwing some color down. But this will easily tie into our aliens. And then while we're die cutting those out, this will give us a chance to dry. How did I do my background? Okay, so the background is, for this one, Melissa, this was, I have masking paper down on one of the slimline card panels. And I just used the splatter stencil. And I just ink blended it with the embossing ink, and I covered it with the Nebula embossing powder. Now, the reason, because I used the pixie spray, it left a bunch of residue behind, so some of the embossing powder stuck to the glued areas that I left. That would be, if you didn't want those, I would use lighter pixie spray or no pixie spray. And then I just ink blended Shady and Wolf and some Midnight Snack from Simon Hurley on it to get the colors. And now we're just adding some splatters. You could go heavier or not. Not necessarily, especially no, they're fun colors. I mean, that's kind of what I did with the other one, except that I did actually use embossing powder over the top of it as well. But they show up on the dark cardstock, and that was what it was on the original, on my other one. The other thing I can say is the neons show up very, very well on the colored. But now, okay, I'm gonna wipe this all up. This is actually, we're not gonna wipe this all up quick. What I like to do when I have something like this, I'm gonna grab a piece of aqua pigment paper and my water brush. Hello, Danielle. And I'm going to spray it with some water, and we're going to go in and we're going to soak up some of that color. And I'm going to go over here with this, and we're going to soak up some more color. This is mushing. Yep, this is what I like to do when I have extra color. So I don't like to, ooh, we got a lot of red, but that's okay. And then we're just going to set that aside to dry. And I'm going to grab one more piece. I have lots of backgrounds like this that I just set aside to dry. It is. Hello, Mom. It is. They're very vibrant. I love the colors, that whether they're the aqua pigments, you know, the more water you add, the lighter they dry. But if you use them full on, they're very, very bright. All right, now we're going to wipe the rest of this off because it's becoming muddy. All right, now we're going to add a little bit more splatter to our background before we let it dry. We got to add some of those shimmer splashes, right? So we got the little shimmer splash. I'm going to use Gilded, Sterling, and then the white Aqua splash. Now these have some like shimmer in them, so you do need to kind of shake them. And for me, to make them really, you can splash them, you know, like this. They work just well like that. They have like this little brush on them. But I also found that if you wanted to do like finer splashes, I put it on an acrylic block like you would a reinker. So it kind of looks like a hot mess, but it'll look good once we put everything on it. So then I'm going to do the shimmers, the sterling, just because we got to add some of that metallic in there. If you wanted really fine details, what I recommend doing is using a toothbrush, and you dip it in, and you have to get your fingers kind of messy unless you want to wear gloves. And then you can kind of, you know, you rub your fingers along the paintbrush, and it will give you fine, fine, fine stuff. So, all right, now we got the Aqua splash, just to add a little bit more fun color, and then we're going to let it dry briefly. These bigger dots take a little bit. Hot mess, yes, they are a good thing when you're a crafter. Now, when I did this last night, when I was doing this, I was impatient. So to get some of it to, it's up to you if you want to do this or not. I'm just going to quickly dab it. And that takes off some of the big bolts, and yet you still get that. So let's see how that shimmers in there. And so I'm going to go ahead and put this aside, and we're going to pull off that masking paper. And we've got our little bit of, now it went through, I see it went through a little bit because it got wet. This isn't very thick paper, but that's okay. We'll make it work. I'm going to let it peel. If you don't want it to get wet, I would maybe be a little more careful with your splashing. But we're going to make a ground out of it. So I have one toothbrush. No, that's not true. I do have two toothbrushes. You're right. Yes, isn't that the glitz and that? And doesn't it look kind of look like I said, doesn't it look a little bit like a galaxy? Now I'm going to be okay with, I got that really wet, so it's sticking that there a little bit. It's just going to add some texture to my ground. I'm just kind of rubbing it with my finger, and the masking paper will come right off. Look at, see? And it's okay that there's those little dots right there. That is masking paper. But we're going to make a ground here in a few minutes. I got to let it dry a little bit more. And then if those are still there, see, look at that. Isn't that perfect? So I wouldn't want to keep it on there and let it dry. I would make sure I took that off before it was completely dry. Just because. And this is the, like I said, these are the slimline card panels. They're 80-pound weight. So they do have, see, they do have some nice weight to them. Yeah, turn it into, that's exactly what I thought. Or we'll just have our guy stand on top of it. Well, it'll be a crater or something. We're going to do something with that yet, but we're going to let it dry for a few minutes. So look at how fun that is for that kind of fun sky. All right. So I'm going to put that off to the side a little bit. It doesn't look like our guys are completely dry, so we're going to have to heat set this just a second. And then I got to die cut them out. Oh. It's turning it off instead of... Look at how fun these guys are. And I'm just kind of keep moving it because I already have that embossing powder on there. You can heat it from underneath. But you can see I made a mistake, so I started over. I moved them a little bit. I didn't use enough embossing or anti-static powder tool. All right. Now, instead of using my big die cut machine, I'm going to go ahead and use my little one right here. Hello, Ruth from Rainy, California. What did you use the color on that? I used the Aqua Pigments. I used pink, red, yellow, green, and orange. So just the regular colors. And then for the blue, the purple, and the more green tealy color, I used the new ones that came out, Galileo, Cosmo, and Orion. And I just put some water down on the aliens, and then I just brushed them on top. Now these have been stamped with Raven Detail ink and then covered. I stamped one at a time and then covered them with icicle embossing powder, which was one of my favorite embossing powders. And I heat set them because I just wanted that extra sparkle that embossing powder gives them. So we're just going to cut them apart. I got to grab the die for these alien dudes. Okay. How we're doing on time? It's snowing here. You have 4 feet already. We had a week in January where we got like 2 feet in a week. And it has all melted and gone away. So pretty much. There's a few spots here and there. So my little die cutting machine is very well loved. My plates are very well loved. So hi, Walter, how are you? I'm not going to worry too much if these aren't 100% dry. Oh no, not me. I mean, it's time to move snow on, but Yep, the better the leaks. That's exactly true. My parents live in northern Minnesota, and we had more snow here in Iowa than they did this year. And I was like, that's crazy. But last year in Iowa, we had, because I live on the Mississippi River, we had our second biggest flood in history. And it was kind of crazy. I took the dog for a walk down by the lock and dam, and ooh, what was that? Must be something on my dye. And there is, and the water was so high. Yes, I will, Misty. Just one second. I am using the spaced out stamp set. Here, let me pull it up so you can, because it's going to have shiny no matter what. Kind of get it so you're not quite trying to. This is the one that came in the inspiration box, if you got that. And then I have the dies as well, and it cuts everything out. So, and we're just using the little alien, and we're going to use the Explore Life for this one. Trying to make sure I don't get everything really super wet. Let's put this up here for right now. Telling you need icicle for sure. Oh yeah, icicle is one of my favorite colors because you can cover up you can make so much fun with icicle and fairy dust. I can't live without them. Look at, see, now this is why I just did that very, very, oops, loose watercolor. Okay. Melissa, I don't think you will regret it. I mean, I have a big box of it because it's my favorite. See, look at, I mean, if I need to add something to my order for like shipping sometimes, I just add more. So this is probably 3 containers of it. I use it a lot. Anytime I'm going to watercolor, I use it. I like this little guy too. He's really fun. And I think he screamed to me he needed to be in rainbow colors. I did color him up last night with some Olo markers, and look at how fun he is as a green, crazy green Martian. I need to do something with him, but I haven't. I colored up a few images last night. Yeah, his belly. Yeah, it's funny that his belly does. And he's kind of almost like he's not really hunching, but he's kind of hunching. So, all right. My little die cut machine, like I said, my plates are very well loved. Yes, Danielle, you need fairy dust. That is what I used on the card sample that I shared earlier. This is fairy dust emboss. This is fairy dust embossing powder. So it's got glitter in it, and it doesn't even show up on camera like it should, but all the shimmer and shine. I mean, it looks like I just went with glitter all over this. And yet it's also got that clear embossing. So it's clear, embossing powder clear with glitter. Embossing glaze. Someone met, okay. Embossing glaze, I believe, is that the Tim Holtz embossing glazes. They are I don't have any yet, but they're powders like embossing powder, and they melt kind of, and they're in the colors like the Distress Oxide colors. And then they kind of end up looking like, Melissa, I think they kind of look like chroma glaze by the time they're done melting. Does that make sense? I'm trying to think I've seen a few videos using them. Like I said, I haven't used anymore, but they're in but I think the fun part is, I know Jennifer McGuire did one around Christmas time with a poinsettia that you put the layers over it, and it's translucent though. Yes, thank you, Francie. It's translucent. So you can layer the colors over each other, as I believe, as well. Transparent tinted embossing powders. Okay, thank you. That's very good too. But they're not called that. Yeah, I haven't tried them. Not yet. I think mostly because I have plenty of stash. Right. Use fairy dust and the salt and pepper coat. Yes, you did. It is hard to see in person or on camera, Danielle, but it's in person, it's beautiful. What actually made me fall in love with it is a couple of years ago, 2 years ago, one of the design team members was doing a card on a live, and I was following along, and she coated her entire card with the fairy dust after ink blending. The entire card. Kind of like I did there. And it was so sparkly. And I played along with her because I had the same set and the same stencil. And I was so just like, whoa. So that's where I kind of fell in love with it. So when I want the sparkle, but I don't want any color, I use the fairy dust. Yeah, it was really, really a pretty one. I don't have the card anymore because I think it's you played with the chroma glaze. They're fun too. It is. It's really fun to add that to a background because it gives you just so much sparkle. And I was saying how I'll do a video on how I made my background for that card I just showed over the weekend because it was really fun. I didn't know for sure if it would work and show the colors underneath. And I don't think it's super hard to explain. I know I stamped and colored and then splattered and then fairy dust over it, but I thought it should probably show how I did it. But I was watching Christopher's live last night, so I could not film. All right, we got our little aliens, guys, cut out. Another one I think that's fun is the Shimmering Snowflake. I believe that one is still available as well. It's like a white with blue. I haven't used that one in a while. Okay, we got our background. We need to create a base. Now we have two options. I can use the mask, which I created. I have not. I don't even know if I know what those are, the Influence inks. I pretty much only use the Simon Hurley inks. What is chroma glaze? Well, that is a good question to ask. I will show you. Chroma glaze is a Brutus Monroe product. I have some I have a couple right here. I have one that you can't see. So I have the black pearl and here's the pink. They are shiny looking, Ruth. So this is the pink. And I will show you that there's a difference with the black pearl. Pearl is my favorite. And then chroma glaze is something you can foil over with deco foil or toner foil. Oh, okay. No, I have not used those inks yet, a color shifting ink like that. So this is the black pearl, but I will show you, I have them all swatched out. I have slowly got my pretty much the entire collection. I just have to find them here quick. Okay. They are going to be Ruth. Now some of these aren't super thick, so that's why you can see the white underneath. But here's what they look like, and I will kind of see how you can see the shine. My favorite is the opal. It can go over a lot of things, and sometimes a pearl. There's a glow in the dark. Yeah, Melissa, you can foil over this with like toner foil. You should try the shattered glass. I don't have any. My samples were at the store. Melissa, I will post a link. I will send you a link. I put it in the fan club group that you can use, but you have to use heat with it, Melissa. You cannot use you have to use like a laminator or like a fuse. Yep. So yeah, this is chroma glaze. And then we also have a velveteen glaze, if you've never seen that. And the velveteen glaze is a matte. And I just finished with my lima bean yesterday. Well, I guess there is pumpkin patch, but that wasn't. So here is the velveteen. So you see the difference? They're not shiny, see? You can, if it's, Christopher explained it to me as if it's a clear medium, you can heat set. I don't heat set these because I do a thinner layer of them and I let them dry. I usually do them like the night before, or I do them first and let them dry. If that's okay. Yes, the store is in Pittsburgh. Yep. It's in Green Tree. But these are my favorite things. And then this is kind of like more of a matte and it's called Velveteen. So, and then we also have, if you haven't seen, let's see, Candy Coat, which has like little plastic in them. And this is the candy coat. So it's kind of like a glitter glaze because we have glitter glaze. And then they have like, and the pearl is one of my favorites. When I saw the pearl, there was 3 left at Create Your Own Ending, and I bought all 3 of them. So they've got just those fun little kind of plasticky and glitter pieces in them. And then, of course, last but not least is, which one did I not do yet? We have the candy coat, though, the glitter glazes. They've got chunky glitter glaze. Where's my glitter glazes? Oh my goodness, I can't find them, you guys. That's sad. I just finished my glitter glaze one off too. Ta-da! I don't have the glitter glaze one handy right now, you guys. I apologize. I don't know where it is. So, but there are chunky glitter glazes, and then there are regular glitter glazes that have just like glitter and not big chunks of glitter in them. Oh, here it is because it was drying. Here's the glitter glazes. Candy coat is very fun. I don't use it through the intricate stencils so much as I use through the bigger ones. So I may have to try one of the pearl on for the galaxy. We might try some galaxy ones with that. So here's the different glitter glazes. And unicorn horn and fallen snow are my favorite because you can put them over your colored inks. So those are some of the consumables we have. It does smell very good. And you know what, Danielle, there was a glitter glaze of the month 2 years ago. It was called green apple of all things, and it smelled like green apple. I finally used it up. So, okay, so here's my background. I used the reverse mask on there, and I wasn't sure what we wanted to do. So I'm going to go ahead and start inking it with the cookie dough because we are getting close to time here. We got to finish our card. Not that you guys care if I go over, right? But maybe you have plans. So I'm going to use the cookie dough. This is Simon Hurley. I am holding down the masking paper because it doesn't necessarily want to stick to that glitter glaze. And then I'm just going to ink it all over. Oh, you're welcome, Ruth. I kind of show them every week. It seems like every once in a while there's someone, but I love them. I have a whole drawer. For me, I like to, when I'm going to use the glazes, I go glaze crazy and make a whole bunch at once. And then I come back and let them dry and use them. So happy Valentine's Day. Oh, thank you. Yeah, I will. All right. This is the weathered paint stencil. And we're just going to kind of go in here and add some like funky little, I've got Gur and Weeping Willow here. And it does have a little pixie spray still left on it. So I'm just going to go in and add a little bit here and there for some texture. And that'll be fun. And then I'm going to grab this. It's the Weeping Willow. And I need my little blending brush. With Simon, I do not. He said, it was a while ago. He was on a live and pretty sure it was before the holidays. And he said he was working on some new colors. And I jokingly told him I wanted a lavender. And he was like, ooh. So I'm hoping a lavender comes out. That would be perfect. All right. And so see how fun that kind of is? And then I'm just going to rotate it around. We're going to grab a couple of these. I'm trying to stay on camera and not create such a big mess. You could layer this over and over and over again. There was a pebble or a stone stencil a little bit ago. I know, I want more purple in general, just because purple is a fun one and sometimes can be kind of a hard color. I'm going to go ahead and maybe do a few dark ones here with this Weeping Willow. I will just take more colors. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So 24, 28 spots left on my thing. So he can come out 28 more colors. It is a good ground stencil, I thought. Thought it would be fun to just kind of add some extra little craters, and you can has just enough of the small pieces to create cracks in the ground and things like that. We probably should put a little bit of something over here. All right. Well, triple berry is another purple as well. It is a purple, but it's more of a pinky purple. So I really hope that there's a lavender. I'm glad I'm glad we got the extra brown and the shady. I think those are fun. And then I think I'm gonna go a little crazy here. I think this is Gur, isn't it? And this is Weeping Willow. We're gonna grab the wolf. And I'm gonna grab one more stencil here. Oh, sidewalk chalk? I guess that is a purple. I always think that as kind of being a pink. But yeah, you're right. That is kind of a light purple. Very, very a light purple. I'm gonna grab the angle stencil. We're just gonna add a little bit of extra kind of with the wolf. Just here and there. Grape gum would be yes, it would be a cool name. I don't know, grape is one of my favorite flavors. I think I ate that gum a lot. I mean, Bubblicious. That was one of my favorites. So I'm okay with it just kind of moving around. I'm just going to add just a few little here and there. We're just adding some fun little. Now, if I was going to let this dry overnight, I might have grabbed something and done like a glaze over this and let it dry, but I'm not going to do that tonight. Okay. All right. So here's the reveal. Woohoo, look at that. Okay. So we've got a little bit of white right there. Oh my. I'm going to go ahead and just grab my cookie dough ink, put a little bit on my brush, and just kind of go in this corner here just to get rid of that ghosty looking effect. Okay, that's not really working for me because I need it even smaller. So I'm going to go ahead and this is my little secret. I've got these are little eye smudging brushes when I want to get in something like this. And I'm just going to add a little bit more. And then we'll grab a little bit of the Gur. That's fun. I think it's kind of a fun background and it adds some of the extra colors. I like to try to use multiple products from the release together. And then I also like to, when I have time, try to give them all their own little show too. So, all right, let's start getting our little guys lined up here. Pink, red, orange, purple, yellow, green, and blue. I think that's kind of fun. So I got a little bit of not red right there. So I'm going to touch that up just a bit because he's the only one. I just need a dab of red. And we're going to just touch him up a little bit because the other guy's all real covered. I didn't really cover him the best. So we're just going to dab it on here, cover that up, and maybe add a little extra color in right around his belly just to give it some shading. There we go. The pink has a little spot there too, and I see I did not get all of my little leg pieces punched out because my plates need to be. We did have a camouflage stencil. Penny, if you're still here, is the camouflage stencil still in stock? It was a layering stencil. If it is still in stock, I will pull it up at the end and show it to you. It came out with a Safari release last May. And they are made in-house. So if it says out of stock, you can sign up for restock notifications. And when they get them made, then you can have them. So they do make the stencils inside. It was last week. Okay, I will try to find it in my stencil stash here before we go. All right, we're going to go ahead and start gluing down. I may do a little bit of foam tape for some of these guys as well. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We got 7 of them. Let's see. It's a design opportunity, I think. Is that the word I ever heard? And one of my friends that I follow, Lydia, she is with Understand Blue. She says it and I say it because of her, is that perfection is overrated, and it's for perfection is for serial killers. Hmm. So we're just going to stagger these guys up and down. I'm going to grab a little, because it takes a second for some of these to dry with that glitter glaze. So you do want to sometimes use a little extra up at the glitter glaze. Okay, well, I was gonna say, and I know it's not, that is, I'm sorry. There is like a small, like I said, a small, they're thinner, so I'm not sure what that all is. I'm not unfortunately involved with the shipping part of it since I'm not there. I won't, yeah, do you, I mean, I know some do, some countries do. Shipping can be, I recently just shipped something, actually, I was desashing a few items and I recently shipped about a month or so ago. I shipped something to Serbia, and she asked me and I asked her if she wanted to, I gave her the different options, and and I know she was going to have to pay some duty too. Um a little bit of duty because it was just a small destash. But she actually ended up getting it in like a week. Oh, you know what, Ruth? I saw the aliens. I mean, I'm not saying I didn't like the aliens, but I saw them. Somebody had them in a project for something, and I thought, oh my gosh, they're so cute. I got to do something with those guys. And they screamed to me, make me a rainbow alien. And like I said, even having him colored with, these are with the Olo markers. Thank you, the Lair and Jungle camouflage. Look at how cute. Oop, let's see. He's not focusing. There we go. Look at how cute he is with those Olo markers. Um, it just kind of spoke to me that they needed to be rainbow colors. So we are not too bad on time. Oh, duty. Francie. Francie. It reminds me of, you made me laugh. I don't know if this will make you laugh then, Francie. My mom was talking about white stuff falling from the sky, and my baby sister told her it was poop today, and mom's like, it's white. No, it's not. That's funny. Yeah, unfortunately, that's not fun. I know that for other people that has. Okay, let's see here. We got this guy, and then we got to add our sentiment here yet. I think I'm going to put him a little bit lower. So here are our little aliens. Got lots of shimmer and shine on there. And now we got to quickly get our sentiment ready here. It's all right, Francie. We'll forgive you this time, but just this time, okay? I put the stamp set up here. So we've got explore life, reach for the stars, you're out of this world, and fly me to the moon. But I think I'm going to do explore life because this reminds me, they're aliens. Let's explore some life. And there's multiple ones of them, so we're going to quickly stamp this out. You're welcome, Francie. Let's see. I had a piece of perfect blend paper sitting here. And I need a magnet. And I will quickly stamp that out here, and we'll die cut it, and we will be adding that in. I'm just going to add it with some Raven Detail ink. I am going to stamp it a couple times because this is a new stamp. I haven't inked it up yet. When my kids were little, we saw Shooting Star. My little said, what was late? My daughter would always answer, oh, it's just... That's kind of funny. Well, it's not kind of funny. It's cute. Very cute and funny. You still have time to visit. If you still have it when I visit, I will have my camel stencil on my wish list. That would be good. They like I said, they are made in house. So if it's a little while before you come, It's possible for you to email beforehand, email the store, and it can and see what they can do for you, because they might be able to make it as well, since the patterns and everything is made in house. And say, I'm on my way. Can I have this? Because you can do a pickup order. So, it is not hard to spend money in the store. Ask me how I know. I went for Create Your Own Ending last year, and it was, I mean, I think it's fun because even though, I get products to use for the design team, and I've been customer for a long time, there's things I forget about every single time. Every single time. And then I'm like, oh man, I forgot about that. Add to cart. That doesn't mean I always get them right away. I usually add them to cart so I don't forget the next time I want to place an order, and that I can add it to my cart. And then I also say that there would be, yes, send them to them. And yes, thank you, Penny. That's what I was going to suggest. Save that email, and tell them that you're coming, and that, when you're coming, because you said it would be a while. And then the other thing I was going to say is there is a wish list up too, that you can put in, and if you log in, create an account, and you can click the little heart next to a product, and you can make wish lists. So you could make a wish list for, trip to the store, and then for things you really, 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 really want, or things, make one that's things you're thinking about. And then so you don't forget something. That's what I will do a lot sometimes, because like if Christopher's going live, or at least in the past, I would always be like, oh, I got to add this to my wish list so I don't forget. And then I can go back and say, like if I'm placing an order for something and I'm like, okay, I'm so close to the free shipping, what else should I add? I can go look at my wish list and add it. Okay. I am Candi. Sorry, not afraid of color. I am Candi. I am the design team, inspiration team leader. So I work with the inspiration team, and help them out with things like that. Penny is our tech. I don't know how exactly say it. She helps us with links and lots of other things, and she's done a lot of things. Oh, thank you, Melissa. A few of the members here are on the inspiration team, like Melissa and Danielle. And nice to meet you. Call you T. I will try to remember that. That is actually my sister's nickname, because her name is Tia, and I would call her T sometimes, or T. Well, she probably doesn't want me to say that on what else I would call what the rest of her nickname is, her other nickname is, because um and Sarah was on earlier, and Walter was on. They were all that. So if you are fairly new to us, she is our web expert and our link extraordinaire. Oh, Tracy. Okay, nice to meet you, Tracy. If you haven't joined if you're on Facebook, go to the Bruce Monroe Fan Club, and you will see a lot of our products there, or our designs there. We interact with everyone there. There is a create your own ending challenge, which I am in charge of. And this month is hearts, not necessarily Valentine's, just adding a heart to your project. So yeah, I could probably put a little heart on here. Let's see what we got. And then I technically am in it. Let me tell you what I want. And then you want everything, right? You really want Zig Zig Ah, isn't that the name of the song? We could put little hearts on all these guys. I gotta poke Fancy. Fancy, and poke you. We got little hearts. Should we add little hearts to our aliens? Do we want all of our aliens to have hearts? I have enough hearts. I think we can. These came from last month's Die of the Month. And they cut out, there's one piece of heart that will cut out a lot of hearts. It doesn't feel like it's poking you in the face as much tonight, Francie. Does it? Ooh. Yes, that is what Penny helps from behind the scenes a lot. All right. Some of these hearts are not. We're going to finish this up, guys. I will put it on a card base later. I got to have one more red heart here somewhere. Or we can add some pink hearts. And, well, I was going to say, if you're on Facebook and you want to join the fan club page, you'll see that our pictures are on Instagram and things like that. We will be having more team members go live eventually. That is something we've been working on. Yeah, Francie is screaming. Yeah, I know. Francie needs to pop on the screen one of these times. And she was there and she didn't come in on the screen. And I was like, what? If you are a TikToker, the Brutus Monroe has a TikTok. Several of our design team members have a TikTok. They are trying to we need to get to 1,000 followers so that we can go live on TikTok. So if you are a TikToker, you can also please follow us there. You can find me on Sugar Cards on Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok. So, okay. There we go, you guys. So now I am compliant with the Create Your Own Ending, the CYOE challenge, which is to add a heart. I actually really like that. That was a fun addition. And you can be entered to win a $25 gift certificate to the store. It's a random drawing, and you can add 2 projects per month at hashtag CYOE. So I am going to sign off here tonight, you guys. Thank you very much, T. I had a lot of fun creating it. Look at the dimension and all the shimmery shine. Oh, thank you. Yeah, the hearts added just enough, I think. It's right. I should have probably put a couple pink ones on, but works. So thank you guys for joining me tonight. Happy Valentine's Day. Thank you. I'm sorry I went a little over. Don't forget to create something every day and check out the Space 24, the space stuff, and all that good stuff. And have a great evening. I will see you next week, and I will work on using the the heat emboss foil reactive embossing powder for you, Michelle. Okay. Thank you guys. Don't forget to create your own ending. Have a great night. Good night.